Hello everyone, let's play a childhood game today. Do you know how to manipulate a string in order to make different shapes like these? From star to butterfly or Eiffel Tower and flower. If you're confident to master physical string in real life, are you comfortable with using string in the virtual Python world? No worries, if it's the first time you've heard about this concept in Python, Team 1 is here to turn you from zero to hero in strings. Let's get started right now.
Okay, so let's start off with the definition of string. Like many other popular programming languages, strings in Python are arrays of bytes representing Unicode characters. However, different from most other programming languages, Python does not have a character data type, so a single character is simply a string with a length of 1. String is a type of sequence data type in Python. Um, let's see how to create a string. So there are three ways to create a string. A string in Python can either be created using single quotes, double quotes, or triple quotes. First, you can see here's the example of single quote, double quotes, and triple quotes. About triple quotes, it is different from single and double quotes. These are used when we have to write a string in multiple lines and print it as it is without using any escape sequence. A string is assigned to a variable with the variable name followed by an equal sign and the string syntax. So how to access a specific character in a string? So character in a string can be accessed using indexes. And here with this picture you can see there are two types of indexing: forward direction indexing and backward direction indexing. Let's go deeper into string by seeing how to slice a string. So string slicing is about obtaining a substring from the given string by slicing it respectively from start to end. And there are 5 ways to slice a string. First is there are five. First is from start to stop. So this will get you a substring with character from start to stop minus 1. The second one is will get you a substring from the starting point to the end of a string. And this one have another argument, which is step. It is the step you take to from indexes to take a substring. However, string is immutable, so every string method will not change the original string, but it will make a new string. We can only make a new string by working with pieces of the original string, but we can't modify any of the string. So next up, we'll see some string methods and function.
Now let's move to this part of string methods. So everybody knows that Python provides a lot of built-in functions to manipulate strings. But remember that all string methods return new values and you should save it by assigning the return data to a new variable because strings are immutable. So for the format of string, we have string name dot method name, and here are some common string methods, with the bold one being most frequently used. All right, so I will give you some examples of many interesting methods that I found out of the lecture in the class. So first of all, I want to present you the starts with and ends with method. So basically, it will test whether the string start with a specified value or end with a specified value and return a Boolean value. So for example, in the first exam here, I will test whether the range from 12 to 20 of the string hello, I am Alibaba starts with Ali. And let's find out whether it is true or false. Okay, so it's true. Um, Moving to the end experimental code, I want to test the same string in the range from 5 to 10 whether it will end with Baba or not. And I run it, and it returns false. So my key point that I want to deliver here is that the method start with or end with will return a Boolean value. You should remember it, right? Okay, moving to example 2. I will introduce you the find method, which help you find the first occurrence of a specified value. And if the value is not found, the find method will return -1. So here, I want to test the string called my midterm exam score is at 100. I hope your midterm exam score will be so too. So I will find the word Python in the string, and let's find out what is the results. Okay, it will be -1 because Python cannot be found in the string. However, if I type in midterm, let's find out whether it will return any result. Yeah, it's 3. So basically, the midterm will start from the position 3. Okay, moving to example 3. I will introduce you the format method in which it will help you format the specified value and insert them inside a strings placeholder. So as Professor has taught in the past, the placeholder can be identified using name indexes, number indexes, or even empty placeholders. So here are just my example to help you visualize much better, but it's not the fixed or default value. Okay, so moving on to the formatting types, I have summarized 4 common formatting types that you can meet in your exam. It's a binary format, fixed point number format, percentage format, and use the comma as a thousand separate format. So here's my code example. Okay, so first of all, when you run the code like this, the purpose of the code is that you want to convert this number into a percentage format. And let's find out the magic here. Sorry. Ooh, okay. Sorry for the wrong code. Ah, so here it returned the percentage, but it is default with 6 decimal. So what about if you do not want any decimal after the 30? Then you can type it in. Run. Yes. You remove the decimal after that. But how about you want to have like 2 decimal? You run it. Yes, so you can receive the result that return 2 decimal after 30. Okay, so moving to my last example, very brain hacking. So this is the encode method. It will help you encode the string using the specified encoding. So a parameter will include encoding and errors, but it is optional. So for encoding, it will help you specify the encoding you use, but the default is UTF-8. And for errors, the string will specify the F error method. For example, if you do not find the character, you type in the arrow called ignore, it will help you ignore the character that cannot be coded. But if you type in black slash replace, it will use a black slash instead to replace the character that could be not be encoded. Or it will you type in string, it will be default and raise an error on failure. So let's test the encode. So I have write a funny code here to help you to write a love letter to your crush. So let's find out what is the result. Yes, it's here. So if you are too shy to talk directly to your crush that you love him or her, you can write this code and embed it in the love letter. Uh-huh. So that's the end of my session today.
And the next one I'd like to explain is string method. A method is like a function, but it runs on an object. Some built-in functions in Python are provided as example in the right side. But every string method do not change the original strings. Instead, return a new string with change attributes. Here, we can see string 1 with the The element my name is Python. Here are some examples. So capitalize means if the first letter of a string is small letter, it will capitalize that word. Here, M is capitalized. The second one, upper. Upper means if the letter inside the string is small letter, it will update it to capitalized one. And the third one is title. If the first letter of each word is small letter, it will be capitalized as the title one. The fourth one, as I explained before, if the string method begin with is, it will result with true or false. Here is asking if all the letters inside the string one is upper. Since it is not, it results false. So the next one I'd like to explain is how Python compares string. We can compare string in Python using relational operators. These operators compare the Unicode value of each character of the string, starting from the 0th index till the end of the string. According to the operator used, it returns a Boolean value. On the right side, we can see there is some symbol in the middle. The first one is equal sign, which is comparison whether the values are the same or not. The second one, less than. The third one, greater than. Those are similar with mathematical expression. The fourth one, exclamation mark, equal, which means not equal to. And the fifth one, greater than equal, and the sixth one, smaller than or equal. They are similar with mathematical expression. So let's see how the answer are. So here, since capital letter A and small letter a had different Unicode values, they are not the same, so it is false. And capital letter A has larger Unicode value, so it represents true. And kind of similar, the third one, false. And the fourth one, they are not the same, so it is true. The fifth one, greater than or equal, they are not. Because of different Unicode value, it is false. But for the last one, it is true. So, how does Python store string data in memory? Python string is an ordered collection of characters that is used to represent and store text-based information. Strings are stored as individual characters in a contiguous memory location. It can be accessed from both direction, forward and backward. Characters are nothing but symbols. As strings are immutable data types in Python, once a string is created, it cannot be changed.
Hi, in this part, we'll talk about string type and input in Python, which is related to why Python is a high-level programming language and very widely used in real life. First, let's take a look at some string input in Python 2 and 3. Then we'll see how we may deal with Python only string input.
So for string input in Python 2, we'll have to use the raw input syntax. Actually, in Python 2, we can pass into our program many other types of data, like not just string. But when we move to Python 3, everything will be string. And for this reason, most of the time when we work in Python 3, we'll have to convert the string from input to the format that we want, to the type that we want. Let's look at an example here. And for this question, so we'll have to write a program to calculate the sum of three numbers a, b, and c, which is in this case the input will be put on one line contain a, b, and c. So if we don't convert, the interpreter can only read a line of string, and we cannot do anything with those string. So we have the syntax here to convert the to convert the element from string to integer. Of course, before doing that, we'll have to split the input into a list of string, and then we can assign the converted values to our variables. And let's take a look. Let's try something 4, 5, and 1, and we're at the 10, which is correct.
Okay, so while this string, well, in Python 2, it turns out that people want the unevaluated string more often than the passed one or the possessed one, probably because you don't need to check its type to know what you got. So, which meant people would just constantly use raw input anyway. So in Python next version, in Python 3, developers change it to just input as we saw in the example. Well, another reason related to string or string type is that most of the time input is string. While developing general applications are considered here, of course, as a developer or a programmer, we most of the time get user input as a string. And even if user has provided integer value, we can pass it to string too. Now, what if by default the input return type is integer or boolean or other than string? Then if user just provide his input as his or her name, so what do you think? Will the program accept it? Well, no. It will generate an error or exception and our program will be broken down. So, well, there are two reasons. The first is string type will accept all kinds of values. And the second is the string type is easier to convert into other data types, while the integer or double or boolean will not accept all input from the user. So that's why input always returns string. And that will bring us to the next part when we talk about real world problems and applications of Python strings.
Hello guys, I'm Minh Dũng and I'm going to talk about string algorithms and their real-world applications. String is a deeply fascinating topic for researchers and those who are interested in data science. There are reasonably numerous algorithms and data structures on string processing, namely rolling hashing algorithm. It allows us to convert strings into numbers to solve a range of string matching problems. Suffix array data structure, which is widely used in areas such as data compression or bioinformatics. There are also Aho-Korashek algorithm, Man-Akers algorithm, etc. In real-world applications, string matching plays the most vital role. For instance, plagiarism detection, spell checkers, spam filters, search engines, etc. They have various forms of applied model, but they all use string matching. I'm going to show some of the models in those areas. Below here is how plagiarism detection like Turnitin works. Documents are decomposed into fragments and then be compared by algorithms. This algorithm will check the similarities and decide if the document is unique or not. For bioinformatics, information technology and computer science are applied to research problems involving finding patterns in DNA. In famous texting app like Word or Messenger or Google Docs, there is spelling checker functions, and J is when we need a data structure called tree, also called digital tree or prefix tree. It's a type of query tree, search tree, or a tree data structure used for locating specific keys from within a set. And the key here often means strings. So that's all about the application. I will give you a fun problem to solve. You can try at this short link. The problem name is who does EV evolve into? You can pause the video to read the statement and then come up with a solution yourself, or maybe try to implement it and can submit at this link. So you can pause it, and after you try it yourself, I will give you a hint is that you can iterate through 8 names and check which one has the same length as the input string. After that, you can iterate each character in string and check if they are the same or not, so you can know what is the input string. So have fun implementing and good luck.